Picture opening your backyard gate. Before you even see a single flower, the air feels transformed. That is the ultimate goal of a landscape that announces itself through scent before it ever catches the eye. But you've probably bought a stunning shrub from the local nursery, planted it, and realized it produces absolutely zero scent once it blooms. There is a biological reason for this. Botanical breeders have spent decades genetically modifying commercial plants to prioritize disease resistance and visual perfection. Those physical traits often come at the direct expense of fragrance production. This comparison table breaks down the problem. Modern hybrids provide a bushy, disease-resistant plant that blooms perpetually, but loses the aroma. To get intense perfume back, you need heirloom cultivars. Notice the trade-off. You sacrifice perpetual bloom and must accept stricter maintenance. To get a yard smelling amazing from the sidewalk, you can't rely on generic impulse buys. You have to carefully source specific genetic lines and orchestrate exactly where they belong in your yard. This quadrant chart lets us evaluate the top fragrant shrubs by comparing the effort you put in against the scent radius you get out. For the most potent spring impact, we look to 19th century breeders like the Lemoyne family. Before industrial nurseries demanded uniform growth, these hybridizers focused on double corolla sports, flowers within flowers, which effectively doubled the surface area for essential oil production. Planted on a historical scale, these heritage lilacs produce a traveling fragrance that can perfume an entire neighborhood blocks away. But they demand precision. They have a short bloom window of just a few weeks. Worse, if you prune them at the wrong time of year, you will destroy up to 95% of next year's potential flowers. On our chart, heritage lilacs land exactly where you'd expect. High reward, but high risk. Massive radius, massive maintenance. Next up is the Korean spice viburnum. If you live in zones 4 through 8, a compact cultivar like Spice Baby is an excellent option for early spring. It projects a sharp, spicy sweet scent, but it has a major vulnerability. That fragrance dissipates rapidly in wide-open, windy spaces. To make it work, you have to trap the aroma. You need to plant viburnum tight against physical structures, walls, or tucked alongside enclosed walkways. Back on our chart, the viburnum lands squarely in the middle. It gives you a moderate scent radius for a moderate amount of placement effort. To get that explosive spring scent, you have to act like a micromanager. You are dictating rigid pruning schedules and pinpointing exact placement to protect the blooms. As the heat rises, we turn to our summer problem solver, the vanilla spice cultivar of Summersweet, also known as clethra. Summersweet has a highly specific input requirement. It actively thrives in persistently wet, boggy soils that would cause standard shrubs to suffer from root rot. Give it that moisture, and the output is incredible. It releases a rich vanilla spice perfume that carries twice as far as older varieties, straight through the hottest months. The trade-off is absolute. Put this plant in a drought-prone, dry landscape, and it will struggle to survive, completely losing its scent profile in the process. Updating our chart, Summersweet hits high on the y-axis for its radius, but pushes to the extreme right for its highly specific environmental demands. Finally, we evaluate our multi-season sustainers, Carolina Allspice and Fragrant Abelia. Instead of relying on a short burst of spring blooms, these plants use aromatic foliage and bark to create an ambient, continuous presence. Their fragrance shifts with the weather. You get distinct notes of strawberry and banana during the summer, which mature into a warm honey scent by autumn. You won't get the aggressive, neighborhood-wide punch of a lilac here. These function as subtle, background diffusers, meant to be appreciated up close. Looking at our chart one last time, the sustainers sit low on the radius axis, but they are also exceptionally low maintenance. Extending your scent calendar into the late summer and fall means making a deliberate choice. You are trading explosive range for subtle longevity. Building a landscape with a constant aromatic presence isn't about buying all 5 of these shrubs. Success comes from matching the right genetics to your specific yard constraints. This flowchart maps your exact strategy, starting with available space. If working with a smaller footprint, you go down the patio path. Depending on seasonal priority, you route directly to a viburnum for a spring punch, or an abelia for fall ambiance. You won't perfume the street, but you gain a zero-hassle retreat next to your dining area. For larger yards, logic routes you based on soil. If wet, lock in summer sweet. If normal, layer heritage lilacs for spring with Carolina allspice through autumn. This is how you optimize for year-round transitioning fragrance that covers the entire property. But optimization takes work. You have to plan your spacing so scents don't clash, and you are committing to a strict multi-season pruning calendar. Stop buying plants just because the picture on the nursery tag looks nice. Understand your zone's constraints, pick a distinct sensory priority, and let the inherent botanical chemistry of these heritage varieties provide the impact you are looking for.